Athletics. Good game.
That cable isn't working, so I'll just go back. Ooh, I'm sorry.
Are you all right? You still hearing me? Still hearing me all right? I hope that stream's not live. It is. Dadgummit, Brandon. I'm testing.
John, what did you have for breakfast this morning?
Had an omelet, homemade omelet, so it was more like scrambled eggs. No, we're good.
Good to go.
All right, we got Jeremy Chin first.
Questions?
So what do you remember about your last home games the other day?
It was a fight. For 4 quarters, I think we competed with the best team in the country. And I think a lot of people, will notice that and see that.
Just how tough, what's the toughest part about defending their run game, Jeremy?
The guys are just disciplined. The running backs are disciplined. They're well coached. The O-line is physical, so they'll push the running back, all the way up until the whistle. So, you got to play hard every single snap.
You didn't win the game, but how well did you feel like you executed the game plan as far as kept your team in the game today?
Yeah, Coach Pacino, he always has, a great plan for us in the defense, and that's something that we continually trust. And I think we were well prepared.
You guys really made it a game with the #1 team in the country. How big of a statement do you think that makes?
I think it makes a huge one, and I hope other people believe that too, the committee. We won 5 straight, and, when comes to come to the best team in the country, so, I think that speaks volumes.
I'll just ask, if you could tell the committee, why you think this team could be in the
That reason right there, 5 wins. The way we just competed against the #1 team in the country, I think we deserve a chance. We get in, and like I said, I feel like we're as good as anybody.
Anything else for Jeremy Chin?
What's unique about guarding Lance? Trey Lance didn't have a ton of big runs, but he's a pretty fast quarterback when he gets out of the pocket. What's different about guarding him, or at least guarding their quarterback?
Yeah, he's elusive, and he's also a big body. So, he's a rare quarterback. He can move. He can throw the ball. There's not too many weaknesses in his game.
I covered the game up in Fargo last year, Jeremy, and I think you guys gave up 65 up there, and today with them toe-to-toe for 4 quarters. What has changed so much with your program that you were able to change things around so much in 1 year?
Yeah, I think it was definitely Coach Pacino coming in, and that defense, the rest of the defensive coaching staff, but also the guys in the locker room. Just a belief, focus. The leaders that we have in the locker room, and just around the building. There's a lot of a change mentality just around here.
You guys were able to take #1 and #11 out of the game pretty much. I think and number 19 hurt you a little bit. Was that part of the game plan the past game, was to take those guys out of the game?
We know that one especially he's a very explosive. He can take the top off. 11 as well too. And really we came in. We know that they like to run that A gap power. Stop the run. So really we kind of challenged our corners and hey, we're gonna put some guys in the box. You guys just have to play well, and the corners did that.
Appreciate it, Jeremy.
Thank you.
questions for Javon Williams?
You guys went toe-to-toe with the #1 team in the country
Mhm.
on the day you needed to make a statement. You feel you did that?
Yeah, we came out, we worked hard, and we played with all of our heart. I say a few times on my part, I didn't execute like at the goal line. I thought I was in, played, replayed, and I wasn't in, but I thought all my teammates came up, showed up, and played with all their heart.
The committee looking hard at you guys as one of the last teams to get in here. Do you think you deserve it?
Oh yeah, I for sure believe that we deserve this position. Came from being not that good of a team for the last couple of years, and we just turned the program around. And now we're 7-5. Just played with one of the best teams in the country and showed that we got what it takes.
I'm curious, what do you think changed this year for you guys? I mean, when you look at where that 5 games started, it seems like everything switched, and now you're in this position. What do you think?
I feel like the last few years it wasn't that family bond that we have this year. We got a brotherhood that we stick to, and we're one team, one heartbeat, and we go out there every game, trust and believe each and every one of us. And when you do that, things change.
Can you tell me what you saw on the touchdown run,
You talking about the one
the 28-yard?
I just saw that block get pushed in, and I knew I could bounce it out with my speed. Went outside, and it was just off for the races. And I saw 6 coming in diving, which I've seen that before. Knew what to do and made the play.
You know, you go over 1,000 yards, Javon. Just how have you earned the coach's trust? You know, for getting from preseason to the first couple of games this year.
Just being consistent. He tells me all the time he trusts me just because I have a genuine heart on the field, off the field, and he trusts my IQ on the field. And when you got a player that has the ability and the body I have, I mean, you got to give him the ball.
What happened on the drive in the fourth quarter there where you guys came up a little bit short? It looked like there was some confusion and you had to call a timeout and then walk us through that.
Okay, went out there and the personnel that we've been working on all week, and I'm not going to name nobody out, isolate him because it's my brother, but he just wasn't ready for it. I mean, you think about it as a red shirt, come in, you got a big plate to handle, and he didn't function and he didn't execute, but it's okay. You learn from it and get better.
What happened on the 4th and 1 play when you didn't quite get in?
The block was supposed to be executed inside, but it was just a busted play, and I just tried to make it the best of it, and I thought I reached the ball over. It kind of looked like that, but ref calls it.
What do you think it would mean if you guys are able to get in the field after a couple losing seasons in a row? Here you are with 2 coordinators right on the doorstep.
What do you mean? Say that again.
What would it mean for you to make the playoffs?
I feel like we deserve it. The team feels like we deserve it. It wouldn't be a shock to us. We feel like we've been working hard for it, and it would mean a lot just to the program, to the people of Carbondale that trusted us, believed in us, but it would mean a lot to us. All good?
Thanks, Javon.
Yep.
Appreciate it. Whenever you're ready.
All right. Obviously disappointed with the loss. I think that I'm really proud of our football team. I'm proud of our program. We just didn't make those 6 or 8 plays that we needed to make to beat a football team like North Dakota State. When they play such a clean level of football and execution, I felt like we went toe-to-toe with them. But we just didn't make that explosive play for a touchdown that we needed, a couple game-breaking type plays. When we look back, we didn't finish, the drive that we had the field goal on. We got the penalty. We got back some yards. There's a few calls that I wish that I would have got back. But like I told them, those 6 or 8 plays aren't just on the players. They're on the coaches as well, me included, when calling the plays. There's a handful of plays that I wish I would have. But I feel like we had a plan and we stuck to it. We shortened the game. We mixed up the tempos. We ran the football. I think someone just said that, we're the 3rd team in 2 years to rush for over 200 yards against them. I feel like we, the physicality of the game, we matched it. And so I think our defense, when you put on the film and they scored, whatever they scored, 60 back-to-back games or 50 and 60, so 120 points and, 1,500 yards of offense in back-to-back games. And for us to just watch that film and go out there with the expectation that we're a good defense and we're going to stop them and we're going to be in this football game. We talked about it all week. We really didn't hype up the game of like, hey, this is a David versus Goliath, because we just don't feel like we're David. We feel like we're a really good football team. We've been preparing for this since January, about finishing and being a physical football team, learning what it takes to win. And so when you get to the moments in weeks like this, you really don't change who you are. You show up and you go to work and you get the game plan and you show up on Tuesday and Wednesday. We've had unbelievable commitment at practices. And so I felt like going into today, I wouldn't lie to you, I was a team that I felt like thought they were going to go out and win the football game, and we just came up a little bit short.
Coach, you were 6 or 8 plays away from beating the #1 team in the country. Do you think that sends the message to the committee that you deserve to keep your season going?
I think, without a doubt, we're a playoff team. Anybody that watches that game knows that, and watches really the last 6 weeks of the season. In the Missouri Valley play, I've said that really the last 6 weeks I feel like we're a top 10 team. And I think if you would ask the Missouri or North Dakota State's coaches about the level of play of players that are on this team, I think they would say the same thing. And so I think that we proved that we're a good football team. That wasn't a close game because there were some fluke things happening, that they turned it over and they just couldn't get right and they were sleepwalking through it. They fumbled the football. We returned a kick. They were bad on space. It wasn't that. They didn't make any mistakes. And we were right there. And there's been a lot of teams that played them that don't fight them like that. And so since we had, DJ Davis and Jeremy Chin are high-level football players, some of the best in the country. And so we opened up conference play without them. And maybe we're not where we're at if we didn't go through those growing pains. And some guys had to step up and learn to communicate and lead. But when your 2 best players aren't playing and now they're playing, I would say in the last 6 weeks we've proved that we deserve to be in that field.
Coach, I say this not trying to sound disrespectful, but sometimes the Saluki brand in football the last couple seasons hasn't had what you would have hoped. But now it's starting to build. You're starting to hear people talk about SIU football. What do you think changed in the last 6 weeks? I know you talk about injury, but do you think it's got to be more than that?
It's definitely not disrespectful. I mean, that's where we've been. But the blueprint has been laid out here before from Jerry Kill when they showed up, and it was probably a 10 or more than that. Since '83, there really wasn't a lot of hope around here. They went 1-10, they went 4-7, and then we went 7 years in a row to the playoffs. This one's taken 3 years, but this league is better than what it was whenever we turned it around the first time. And so I think that it's not just the last 6 weeks. This has been a good football team the entire year. I think it started last January. I think it started, with this new staff and there's the commitment to the details. Our shirts that we work at, everything matters, and guys that bought into that. Not coaching to be afraid of that transfer portal. If you want to be here and this is the way we're going and this is the way we're doing it, then, we had our biggest recruiting day ever here today. We had almost 85 recruits in here from all over really the Midwest, and I think that they see, what they could be a part of. So that doesn't get you any more wins, though, too. Just because you make a good run, you keep going. This season isn't over for us, but going forward, you got to come show up tomorrow and do the same things. Can't start feeling good about yourself, or just because you started doesn't mean it's just going to go nice and easy. There's going to be adversity every single day, and I think our guys are learning that. I really think that one of the things, and he was on the sideline, but I've referenced the Marines when we paid the Marines to come in here and spend 2 days with our guys. And it was really a changing point for Jeremy Chin, And when I say that, because Jamie came here from Ohio and his family, that the kid that ran us out was here during that time too. He's the son of Jamie, who leads that program. And just challenge Jeremy. You got head Marines, Navy SEAL type training in your face, and really challenge him to step out of his comfort zones. He's always been the most talented player. and he's been a great leader. But really, since then, just the development. I told Jamie that today on the sideline. He'll look back and think about those 2 days. What a hard 2 days that was. But you could feel our team coming together then, and that was in June.
Before you came in here, what'd you tell the guys in the locker room?
Well, number one, I told him I know it stings. I told him that this season isn't over for us. That's what I said, and we're going to show up here tomorrow. We got a schedule put together that I put together with our ops guy, with the assumption that we're going to the playoffs. We'll show up here, but we've got to continue to get better. We got to look at this film tomorrow, get better from it. The same thing. My message is always the same thing. I hurt just as much. I wish I could have had those 6 or 8 plays or back. You know, we're all in this together as coaches. I'm proud of them. They know that I'm proud of them. They know that I love them, and that everybody in that room does. So it's gonna sting when you put your heart out there and the physicality out there. You know, you know, it stings whenever you put that commitment in there, and that when you fight that hard, it's going to sting. And so that's what tonight needs to be a focused group, you know. It was definitely not a locker room of a bunch of more victories. And I think when you get your program to where you want it to be, that's the way it should feel.
They were able to move the ball on you a little bit better in the second half, and they possessed it a long time, it felt like, in the second half. What happened there? What changed?
I thought, you know, well, they scored twice. You know, if you're going to say, you know, they ended up scoring twice. I felt like our defense still made them earn it. You know, they had the one, really their 2 touchdowns. The first one got loose. You know, you've seen that. I don't know where, if you're from there, you've seen that 500 times. That play eventually goes for one. You know, A got power and it hits backside, and you don't fit it up right, then you're going to have a long day. And then Trey, what an unbelievable player he is. You know, just it's been fun to watch him. You know, not fun playing against him, but it's as a quarterback, you have a ton of respect for a kid like that as a redshirt freshman. Really, the poise that he has, and then really, I felt like they got him going on the power read. You know, I felt that was their adjustment, is when they needed one. They started to run power read with the jet sweep. They handed it a couple times, but it really just our backers. Javon's rushed for 1,000 yards doing it, and we might run some different quarterback schemes, probably some more so with Javon as he's a big kid too. But the power read, that when the linebackers overflow it and that thing's got a chance to go to, and he hits some good ones. He gets downhill. He's tough to tackle. We had him a couple times in the backfield, and I felt like really the difference, we've played so well on third down on defense this entire year. You know, is top 10 in the country is those third down throws that he made. We had him in 3rd and long so many times that he just stands back there and throws the ball early with anticipation on those out-breaking routes, and the ball comes out tight and he's accurate.
Javon had another big touchdown for you. Just what has he done to earn your trust? You know, not just a good player, but to trust in the big downs.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal player. I say that each and every time. He's a pleasure to coach. Comes to work every day. He's got a great just demeanor about himself. He wants the ball. I don't think that it earned our trust just because the moment doesn't get too big for him. He's not thinking this is third down. He's thinking I'm going to go and score. You know, and sometimes that. It gets him, but he makes plays, it's 4th down. He's over there. He's always like, hey, get me the ball. That's about the only thing, not in a negative way ever, So he's a great player. I'm proud of those guys. First time in program history that we've had 2,000-yard rushers. And, with Coach Kill, they call this tailback U. Some pros, Arkey Whitlock and Brandon Jacobs were in the same backfield together. And both of them had 900. I was on that team, and we went to the playoffs. So they had more games, but they both didn't rush for 1,000. So that's something that they can hang their hat on. I think that when you look at that, I think anybody would say, when you're looking and breaking down teams, I don't know, I see the criteria, but maybe the best FCS prospect, one of the best players of all time, and Jeremy Chin is on the field. DJ Davis, maybe you know, Trey Lance is probably, and deservedly so, you know, right there. But the best 2 freshmen were on the field today in the country, with no question. Trey Lance has done a great job, but Javon Williams, for being a freshman, scoring another one, setting the Missouri Valley Conference record for touchdowns. Got a lot of good players, so I think that they've proved that they've done a lot of good things.
You talked about Jeremy's leadership. Why is the defense better